Sorry, Bitcoin bears. Well, not really sorry, but sorry, Bitcoin bears. It's over. The bear market for Bitcoin, by most accounts, by most technical indicators, by even sentiment, and of course fundamental realities of the Bitcoin ETF coming, it's over, baby. It's over. Keep praying to Satoshi if you want to get that 10K Bitcoin, because the chances of that coming are less and less likely. I mean, at this point, to get a $10,000 Bitcoin, World War III's got to break out, some kind of maybe financial crisis of such incredible magnitude that nobody saw it coming and everything goes to crap. Of course, we don't want any of that to happen. And if you're a Bitcoin bear hoping for that to happen, seek help. Look, the chance to buy Bitcoin even under 20K at this point, probably over, unless, again, some extreme stuff happens in the markets, which I cannot discount. I mean, those kind of proclamations, never a chance to buy Bitcoin under 20K again. I've been making content long enough to know not to make such proclamations. But the chances are pretty slim at this point. The chance to buy Bitcoin even under 30K, look, those amount of times, and we'll probably see Bitcoin trading under 30K again, the amount of times that happens, it's going to be fewer and fewer until pretty soon that's not going to happen again either. And the next bear market bottom, most likely going to be a much higher price than the current price of Bitcoin. Look, here's some bullish facts for you. We just had Bitcoin put in a golden cross. This is when the 50-day simple moving average crosses over the 200-day simple moving average. Now this, I know, moving average is a bit of a lagging indicator, but when you have the 50-day, which is more responsive to the last 50 days of price action, so it's, you know, a more timely indicator, passes over the 200, which is very smooth line in general on the chart. That means basically short-term trend is moving in a bullish direction. That is the golden cross. Now the EMAs, the exponential moving averages, as we discussed in early October when it happened, gave us an earlier indication of the market turning around. Had you been watching that video, paying attention back then, you would have known the bullish setup that was coming here for the markets. Now the simple moving averages, lagging indicator, finally catching up to, as you can see, and that means that a potentially strong move is forming up here for the markets. Now, golden crosses are not a perfect indicator, just like death crosses are not a perfect indicator. We can have false breakouts, and certainly the current rally is very largely news-driven rally around the Bitcoin ETF. If the SEC were to come out and say tomorrow, we're never going to approve a Bitcoin ETF, stop asking, it's not going to happen. Yeah, that would probably invalidate this current golden cross. But even with a denial from the SEC, that would be short-term bad, but doesn't change fundamentals of Bitcoin and all the realities around it. But they're not going to deny the Bitcoin ETF. The Bitcoin ETF is coming. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And when you realize that, you realize right now, if you're buying Bitcoin at these prices, can't tell you what to do, obviously, with your money, just what I'm doing with mine, but I have been accumulating a lot of Bitcoin this year. And the reality is that Bitcoin ETF will come. When it comes, price is going to go a lot higher. We've done a lot of videos discussing the moon math behind this. And of course, people are catching on to this reality. Bitcoin just closed its highest price in 78 freaking weeks, which is very, very impressive. Now, last time the price was this high was actually on the way down in May 2022. Perspective. That was going down. We're going back up now. We could be getting ready for a new massive rally. Google searches for Bitcoin, pretty good indicator of general sentiment. So it's not just sneaky institutions front-running everybody. Retail interest is picking up significantly on this move because Google searches have surged globally over the last few weeks. And if you look at like just the UK as one example, searches are up over 800%. People are waking up, people are paying attention to Bitcoin once again. Early days, we're not at a like crazy bull mania peak, right? But people are starting to pay attention again. And that's the kind of momentum that you need to turn markets around. Because if people aren't paying attention, they're not spending their money. If they're not spending their money, prices don't go up. But when prices start going up, more people get interested, more people start spending their money, prices go up, more people get interested, boom, 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 boom. It becomes a self-fulfilling positive loop. Also, we have AB Berenstein. They've been pretty big Bitcoin bulls, saying the ETF is going to be approved between October and March 2024. Obviously, that's coming. This is just based on the current deadlines. The final deadline for approval is really March 15th, 16th, but January 10th is the first final deadline for a Bitcoin ETF. We have estimates ranging anywhere from $10 to $200 billion of money being brought into Bitcoin over the next few years with this ETF products. I saw a guy from Bitwise talking over on X. He said, I spoke to several financial advisors this week, and the conversation, he says, has shifted from potentially considering a 1% allocation, which is usually the number it's bantered about, to Bitcoin, to seriously considering a 5% allocation to Bitcoin. That's a big number. That's a crazy number. And also you got to consider these ETFs, issuers, they work on fees, right? So they charge a 1% fee or whatever per year for holding your Bitcoin for you in an ETF. These guys want the price to go up because they can sell you a bunch of Bitcoin ETFs and then price goes to the moon. They're winning. They're winning because they 10x the money they take in on fees if the price of Bitcoin 10x's. They have every incentive possible to get you into a Bitcoin ETF. And here's something to keep in mind too as the bull run starts to gain momentum and things start getting a little bit crazy on the timeline, because they will, and it's going to increasingly do so as the prices continue to go up. But before we discuss that, just a quick note: if you are a cryptocurrency trader, get yourself an account on BYBIT, best damn place to trade cryptocurrencies, futures, spot altcoins, all that great stuff. 30K in trading and deposit bonuses when you use the link down below in the description to start your account. There's also a lucky draw going on right now, which is exclusive to anyone using that link. Thousands of dollars in prizes, free iPhones, all kinds of stuff like that. So check it out if you are a cryptocurrency trader and you want to take your experience to the next level. Use the link in the description. So, bull markets, it's back. And a lot of people think it's up only. And if you look at the weekly, monthly, it kind of is a bit of an up only experience. But when you kind of zoom into like the daily, there's a lot of volatility, man. You're going to see tons of pullbacks. And this is something to just prepare yourself for mentally, especially if maybe you joined late last cycle, for example. You got a bit of PTSD still. The reality is you're going to see coins run up 50% over a month, stuff like this. Some altcoins are going to do bigger moves than that. And then you're going to see pullbacks, 20, 30%, totally normal. Like for Bitcoin, a 20, 30% pullback in a bull market is like totally standard stuff. And that's like technically entering into a bear market if you take like S&P 500 sort of rules and apply it to crypto, which is why they don't work very well for crypto. But like in the last bull market before that, I mean, there was 10 or 15 times something like this where we had massive run-ups in price, 25, 30, 40% price corrections. This is not an easy game. And sometimes it's going to feel like when those price corrections come in, it's going to go on forever and ever and ever, and this is the end of it. To get to those high price points, to run your bags up to from thousands to millions, right, requires some balls of steel, requires holding for a long time. And I know when you look on social media, everyone's like, it's so super easy to get rich in crypto. Man, it's hard. It's hard because you're going to be challenged constantly. You've got different challenges, though. You've gone through the bear market challenge of just surviving. Now you have to go through the bull market challenges of not fumbling your bags too damn early. This is the thing, especially when you talk about altcoins. A lot of people are going to fumble those altcoin bags way too damn early. You're going to get out at a 2x thinking you're a genius. And hey, look, if you made profits, don't be too hard on yourself. I just want to make that clear. But you're going to sell for 2x and then your bag's going to run 100x. And it's tough because someone's going to perfectly buy the bottom and perfectly sell the top, but like that's like one dude. 99.99999% of the market will not do that. You got to remember the meat of the move's in the middle somewhere. But try not to fumble your bags too early. And the crazy thing is, especially when you talk about like quality altcoins, is that the prices are going to go way higher than people expect. And it usually happens in the mania phase of the altcoin cycle where, the Coinbase app's like number one on the App Store and mainstream media is talking about it. And that guy you haven't talked to since college calls you up and says, hey man, I saw on social media you're into like cryptocurrencies, bought some dog coins, what do you think? That's when you know things are going to be overheated, right? But this Bitcoin bear market, for all intents and purposes, it's finished. It's finished for now. And if that's true, then things are going to be real crazy for altcoins. Bitcoin's going to absorb the money, the momentum, the hype first. Ethereum will follow. And when Bitcoin's gone crazy and Ethereum's gone crazy, what are people going to do? They're going to look around and start going, oh, what's the next Bitcoin? Maybe I should buy some dog coins. Come on, this is what happens every cycle. People miss the Bitcoin rally. You're here now. You haven't missed the Bitcoin rally, by the way. Bitcoin is going to go much higher than the current price. I'm not saying tomorrow, but in the grand scheme of things. But people will come in late in the cycle and go, wow, I missed out on Bitcoin. I missed out on Ethereum, but there's all these other coins that I can buy. And they start buying all the other crap. And that's when prices go absolutely crazy. And right now we are seeing the earliest moves in altcoins too. Some of them are breaking out of their long accumulation ranges. And if that is the case, if we can build momentum, a lot of these altcoins that are still down 90+% can have a chance to go and do some really great gains. Of course, look for new players in the markets. Those tend to be the ones with the most interest from the broader loud-ass trucks. Those tend to be the ones with the most potential moving into a new cycle. But there's a lot of the old boys too. They'll come back. Injective, got my eyes on you, Injective, see what you've been doing recently. Chainlink, stuff like this. Great potential assets for the future. I own both those, by the way, but great potential for some of these stronger altcoins that have been around to do well in the future. And of course, the new altcoins will be the ones that will get probably a lot of interest from the market. Think of like, Solana back in 2020, 2021, new coin, hot new thing, everybody wanted into it. Anyway, you're not going to make it perfect in this cycle. Just accept that. There's no perfect in investing. There's no perfect in crypto. The goal should be to try to maximize as much as possible making money out of this cycle. It's early. We're early. Most things are down dramatically. The retail herd has not shown back up yet. The ETFs haven't been approved yet. There's still incredible opportunity right now in the space. And I hope that you're here. I hope that you see it. I hope you're paying attention. I'll see you in the next video.